Alright, so let's see what we got. First things first is the equipment in this game, to best start you off, will basically guide your exploratory sort of needs, right? So the way we do this is, depending on, what you want to find, I would suggest looking for and building your equipment first. So I'm just going to right click on each of these, and you can see that they will appear kind of there above me. And that way then you can see, as you're gathering resources, what they are. Now, some of these, for example, the battery, the rubber, the fiber, that actually is created elsewhere. So we need to find some of these pieces. So for example, like the fiber and the rubber, those are from Lucifer Rotsex, no relation to Satan. And then fiber is just sort of organic matter. The battery needs copper, needs acidic rayon pouches, right? Things of that nature. But some of these things we actually cannot build because our fabricator is corrupted. Because as you can take a look at our beautiful life pod here, it's a little worse for wear, which, I mean, spoilers, again, don't forget to set your Pioneer. You can customize them if, your colors are to be desired. I'm gonna do green. Green's a good color. At the very minimum, your Pioneer has been on this planet at least for like 30 years, 27 years. And that is a titanic sort of tree. Or a crab. We don't really know what it is. But anyways, take stock of what you got. So your health over here in the bottom left-hand corner, we have 45 seconds of air. That can be adjusted. You have water that you got to drink. You have food you got to eat. And of course, your health. We are at full health, but certainly we can die. We don't want to die. Anything good in storage? Yes, we actually do. We have nutrient blocks for 40 food. We grabbed that water, which actually I think I'm going to eat real quick. And I'm going to grab one of these just for funsies. Jump!
Locating the colony is your best chance of survival. A prolonged search will require food and water.
So the first thing you want to do, believe it or not, is head north. Because unfortunately, if we find something... yes, these guys. These would be your best friends. Water slugs.
This organism filters brine into drinkable fresh water. This may be an adaptation to the seawater's anomalously high viral load.
So first things first, you head about, 20, 25 degrees north. You'll run into, well, first you're going to drown. Breathe! But you're going to run into hammerheads, little fishies, other fishies. That guy's actually bad for us.
Potential donor found.
But guess what?
The Noetic advisor has transmitted an alert. Notice
really
the intrusive and persistent HUD icon. Return to the life pod at your convenience. Remember that you are in command of the mission.
Chat. I forgot about the weird psychicness. Anyways, let me get some air. So you head north about 25 degrees from the life pod, which is over yonder. And you'll see another one of these, goopy goops. These are called angel combs. I'm going to stick my hand in here. And this is going to solve the very first problem that you didn't even know you had.
Alien enzymes to your stomach lining. You may now digest freely.
That means I can consume the water slug. But we won't actually do that. Throughout the game, you'll run into black boxes. These things. This is your death beacon that you and other survivors drop.
Sophie says you're a hallucination, just a virus, but I know you're listening. We're so hungry. There's food all around us, but it's poison. Will you help? If I feed you, will you feed us? This is my body, given for you. Just help us eat.
What's up? I'm gonna grab some of these rot sacks down here.
Do not hesitate to use alien life forms for survival purposes, but always search for unexpected complexity.
I'm gonna grab a couple of these to fulfill the requirement for the rubber. But if you come ever so slightly north, or south rather, from that, you'll actually find your first sort of bash of survivors, where there'll be some notes, there'll be this wonderful thing, we'll talk about that here in a second. You'll get some fancy resources.
Workplace friction. Inform
And
your
of course,
coworkers before moving their stash.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die! Breathe. But as you can see, as we pick things up, I know it's kind of hard because my face is in the way. If I hide my face, you can see that over there, the rubber icon I now have, because I've collected 6 of the Lucifer rot sacks, I now have enough to craft, what is that, 6 divided by 2? 3 sections of rubber, which will be good for us, because it looks like that's exactly how many... No, actually, I need more, because I actually want to craft 2 oxygen tanks, and I would actually recommend starting off crafting 2 air bladders. More on that later, friends. So we need to craft and get more Lucifer rot sacks. Hello, what's up, Zane? But, as you can see, the ocean provides lots of plentiful life, lots of guys, lots of scariness. I'm going to start off by yanking you, yoink. And again, already within the first little bit, we've got 2 wonderful sort of things of, you know, we've got the gist of adaptation taken care of, and now I've got this. This is a portable locker. Highly recommend you find...
Oxygen.
Yes, I know. Unfortunately, you're going to be hearing quite a bit of that. She gets annoying until you build your first air tank, which we will do momentarily. We need silver, which apparently is the biggest thing to find in this game, but I'll show you where it is. We were actually very close to it. But now that we've solved the digestion issue, we can now start eating animals. Not necessarily these cute little guys. Look at how cute they are. Look at how cute. But any other fish that we can interact with, like all these guys here. Also notice, I don't know if you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, bottom right, I can't read. Come here, you! Anything that we can scan kind of pops up. And as we pick items up over on the left, the resources, the recipes, things of that nature will pop up and say, hey, you can cook this. I've got myself a half moon. I'm gonna grab this guy here, this blue guy. Come here, you. Come here. This is a blue moon, its cousin, and then there's one more that I want to grab for illustrative purposes. It's these green and purple ones. Very rare. The rarity of them kind of mixes between them. But come here, you. Come here. Hey, this gets a lot easier in the future. I seem to have lost... I need air. I seem to have lost my supply crate. Where did it go? I dropped it. Ah, there it is. Yes, let's put the orange supply crate in the middle of the orange fauna and flora. Yes, clearly. So one of the things that we'll need, as you can kind of see from the right-hand side of things, is we need crystal, which is quartz, and we need... I know, you're loud, you're angry, I'm picking up your cousins. We need quartz, and we need titanium, lots of which are, thankfully, around this sort of quick area here. Let me drop you here in the center, so Physics.
This quartz contains dead
Stay
coral
away from those
polyps. It may have formed on or near a coral dome.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need some more titanium.
From hand tools to corrosion-resistant habitats, titanium is an ideal structural material.
It's Jordy! Little Jordy LaForge. Jordy! So I'm just gonna get a little sampling of everything, that way we can talk about some of these things. Nothing too crazy. Pay attention to your oxygen at all times, friends. I'm not responsible if you die. Oh, it's full. Okay, so let's take this back to the life pod now that it's full. Dump the inventory, and I actually like to swim around with one of these. You swim a tiny bit slower, but it's worth it until you expand your inventory using in-game lore sort of craziness. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Dying. Drop this. Oops. Drop this. One thing you also want to pay attention to is the day-night cycle. Unfortunately, this game... Biobit test.
I'm monitoring noxiously elevated viral loads in the seawater. Heavy metal assays detect bone-blistering levels of cadmium, lead, and chromium. This planet is already killing you. We have to know if the life pod biobed can help. Find a convenient way to die. Your black box will phase your mind to the biobed. I'll print you in a new body. You can return to your point of exit to retrieve dropped items. Regular reprinting may help slow down environmental contamination. It's not a long-term solution, but for now, we have to triage.
Okay. I really don't want to die, but okay.
Standing by to reprint you.
Most likely I will. I'm not playing on hardcore. That's not the it's not the purpose of this. I'll stick you in there. Anyways, once you've gathered your sort of stuff, I'll keep a health and a nutrient block in there. Put copper wire in here for later. We can start doing some of these things. You can start cooking. You'll notice that some of these provide food, some of these provide water. It just depends on the organism that you're cooking. The better recipes, the prepared meals, unfortunately, again, we cannot create until we build ourselves a proper base, which will come later. We'll talk about that momentarily. But the one thing I want to point out is starts. Doesn't have to be now. I would actually recommend waiting. But this recipe here that you get after you collect one of each of the different colored things, this is the best early game recipe. It provides food and health, which would be good because, you know, the fauna apparently are going to try and kill you. So yeah, salt, unfortunately, we're not going to find for a while. So really, this makes this recipe kind of useless. And make sure, again, pay attention. Even as we're sitting in menus, the game is still going. Nothing about this game pauses because, again, it's meant to be played in a way, real life. We can create flares. Highly recommend keeping at least one of those on your person at all times, but we'll talk more about it. For now, I'm going to queue up and print all this rubber. No, I'm not going to keep the rubber on my person because I'm going to just dump it in here for now. And what's nice is notice, if you hold down your select button, in this case for me, left click, you can actually mass move rather than clicking each one individually. You can mass move all your items at once. Okay. Good enough for me. So, the name of the thing I need right now is truly, I need to get the survival multi-tool. That should be honestly one of the very first things you do. So we need titanium. And the game gets a little scary for some people. At night, I don't have to worry too much about it because everything is bioluminescent. So that's kind of a nice nifty little thing. This is going to be your friend. Go straight down here. This is an oxygen tunic. Don't know why it's called that. We'll scan it and figure it out later. But for now, they provide the means for you to stay underwater. And look, I'm actually a dunce because I forgot that there's actually a second locker down here. So I'm going to take you, and I'm going to put you and keep you in the life pod for future sort of nice. So do not craft these. If you find the recipe somehow, some way before you find your first couple, there you go. Woo! This sinkhole right here underneath you. It's right underneath the life pod. Very good to start off. Ah, yes. So anything that is scannable might be named. It might be flashlight, nice. It might be named. It might be little scanner icon over there in the corner. I'm gonna move all of this over here. Be careful of this. This is what's known as an acid ryon, and they're gonna tempt you. They're gonna try and trick you and be like, "Oh yeah, pick up this medical gel sack." Don't do that. For educational purposes, I shall show why. Oops. Poison! Ah! So yeah, don't do that. The way that you're supposed to deal with this thing, and we unfortunately can't do anything about it. I'm gonna consume this now. I have to process the water slug. The way we have to do that is by using acid round pouch, and in order to deal with this, we need the multi-tool aforementioned. So we've got to get titanium. Lots and lots of titanium. Thankfully, in this cave, there's also your first few pieces of copper.
Bacterial action creates copper on cave roofs and overhangs.
All right, Jordy. Show me. So this is a pretty safe place to check things out. Oh, I'm gonna die. Ah! Swim to the bubble! Swim! Shouldn't say. We're safe. We're safe. Ah, yes, big things of copper. Nice, 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 nice. All right, cool. Theoretically, you could infinitely be all wrinkly and get all the oxygen and never surface if you really wanted to min-max your time in the water. I just need more titanium. That's copper. Any other titanium? Titanium, titanium. You're gonna need a lot of it. It's gonna be your best friend. Breathe. We're fine. We're fine. By the time you pick up one, this is ready to go for another. Maximize the oxygen. Breathe. Breathe. All right, we'll come back down once we have the scanner. More on that later. But for now, boop, boop, boop. Bop, bop, bop.
The Noetic advisor has transmitted an alert. Return to the life pod at your convenience.
So all we get to do now is start doing stuff. So as you can see, we're starting to kind of amass a nice little stockpile of resources. If you keep your resources in these storage crates, which I highly recommend, the game will actually sort of draw from them. So that way then, like, notice I don't have anything on my person other than a snack and a health kit. And so I'll be able to start making stuff. Unpin that, build it, unpin that, build it. I actually recommend building 2 air bladders.
Is approved for colonial fabrication. In untrained hands, firearms are primarily used to harm other colonists or the self.
Well, that's not good. And notice as we started collecting things, different materials, different resources, different recipes have become available to us. I like how the fabricator says jailbreak at the top, as if it's some like crappy iPhone that somebody hacked into. Also, I didn't tell you, but as you can see, you can actually queue up multiples of the same, so that way your hands are free to do whatever you need to do. We're gonna keep you, Jordy. I need a little bit of water. Okay, we've cooked a little bit of everything. We'll get some more flares just in case, because I don't actually know. I am playing kind of after the fact, but what's what I'm looking for? An update to the game has dropped in which, like, the animals, the megafauna, have been slightly tweaked in terms of their aggression and attack patterns. So the game that I played, unfortunately, is going to be a little bit different than the game that I'm showing you now, because hey, we're in early access, it's updating, it's kind of fun. I need fiber, but that's good, because check it out, we're gonna get fiber. Actually, I'll do that real quick before we do things. I'm not gonna talk to Noah yet. I actually recommend, as I mentioned, having 2 of these air bladders, because can we look at the data bank? We can. Potato virus. Field notes, and or not wander. 2 spare tanks. That's a hint. Where is it? Air bladder. Equip and trigger to shoot up to the surface. So if you are under the water and you need to surface, you are about to suffocate, you click the little button and it takes you up to the surface. Alternate trigger gives you a few seconds of oxygen, just in case that you have, like, you know, a few moments that you can kind of have a little bit of wiggle room. That's why I recommend 2, because that way then you can surface and or have a few seconds of air. Survival multi-tool, this guy is a switch axe, which I think is kind of cool coming from Monster Hunter, but it's all good. Allows you to cut things now, so we can start harvesting different pieces of, well, the world, right? And of course, I've also got these. Let me put some of this away. Actually eat. Bada bing. I'm eating the blue moon because it gives you a little bit of water, even though I do have some water here. I only need a couple flares. Actually, I've already got one on my hotbar. And I usually take, as is most survival horror games, well, not horror, but any survival games, you usually want a health kit, some food, and some water, because these gauges will drain. Notice that my health, because I have mostly full bars of oxygen and food, my health will auto-regenerate. Dive! So now that we are armed with this little guy, a switch axe, I need to find fiber. Those can be found by cutting the local fauna.
This waxy fiber is closer to vinyl or latex than cellulose.
That's
Committed
cool.
vegetarians should expect bloating.
Likewise, now that we have this, we can come down here where we were, and notice it's going to prompt you.
Acid can be used to make basic chemical batteries.
Yeah, so that'll allow us to do, that's going to be the electrolyte in a battery, so now we can do that. Likewise, now that I've basically disabled the trap, I can safely collect, wow, dyslexia. I can safely collect the med kit item in the middle there. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Let me just refresh my breath, get some copper. And now that we have this tool, it will also make breaking these things a little bit easier. How much space do I have? I'm full up. Let's go back. So you don't have to multiply spam the click for breaking those larger, oh, it's so bright. Breaking those larger deposits of minerals. The multi-tools handy. Ooh. So again, I'm just going to dump all these over here. As long as they are inside or near your fabricator, they do not need to be in your inventory to be accessible. So again, I have to make it fiber first. Ha! See? You have to do this. We now have acid, which we can use. I'm going to make a battery. We're going to need one of those for lore story purposes. Ooh, I need quartz, actually. Quartz! Where are you at? Well, I'll tell you. Inside and near these orange coral domes is where the quartz shall be. Jordy, what are you doing, dude? Now, the way that these little guys swim is they are jet propulsioned by sucking in water through their mouths and expelling it out the back. Now, don't get weird here, but inside these coral domes is all the quartz. You need lots of it. Little air pocket in this one. Highly recommend this being your first stop. Hopefully they randomize it, because right now, the developers, kudos to them, they hand-placed all the resources in this game. Every single item, every single thing has been meticulously hand-placed. In the long term, future aspects of the game, that's not really scalable or feasible, so I do have concerns, but, you know, later. Alright, check it out. I need to make a second battery for, again, story purposes. We've got the scanner! We haven't even been playing for what? An hour and we're already here?
Riley Robinson used a field scanner to outwit teleporting alien cyborgs and treat his Kara infection. Behavioral economists still debate why Riley abandoned a lucrative motivational speaking career to return to frontier life.
Salapod Jordy, jet-propelled omnivore, not a fish. Yeah. So anyways, now that we have this is the scanner. A couple things. So you'll notice, and then again, my big-ass face is in the way. Can I... Hey now. There we go. You'll notice that there are little orange dots. Whoops. There are little orange dots kind of everywhere on the scanner's radar. Those are items which are scannable, meaning that you can learn more about them, get information about them from the databank, and more importantly, they're probably going to be sort of blueprints for you that you will want to build, like that flashlight that we saw. More on that in a second. We'll take a look at those. But those are things that you're going to want to scan. Something, if you've never played Subnautica before, or if you're super paranoid and you just want a really good kind of start, little sort of cool thing. Let me make sure I'm good. I don't need a Geordie. I'll just leave you here. Actually, let's release you into the wild. Drop. Be free! Be free! Right? So this little Geordie, he's popping up. He's swimming all over the place. You can scan him. Come here! Come here! Come here! And now, let me go to the surface here, because now we have a new databank entry. This will be the case for any life form in the game, right? Rasping jaw, or fins, particular stomachs. And then at the very bottom kind of tells you what maybe this thing is potentially useful for in the story. Not everything is literal, but potentially future aspects of this game will be good.
The Noetic Advisor has transmitted an alert. Return to the life pod at your convenience.
Water slug! Now, in truth, I don't actually recommend scanning everything. I'm not going to scan those little water slugs, because as you saw, they will pop up, and then you can see the range is not very big in this thing. The range is, like, they only show up within, like, that first ring, but it'll kind of let you secretly have a little mini, like, tracking. Same thing with this titanium. It's scannable. I need it. Oxygen. I need it, so I'm gonna not scan it, so that way then I can use my scanner to, well, again, for lack of a better way of saying it, find them. It's like a nifty little, like, resource scanner until you get the actual scanner module later on. These other things, yeah, I'll scan them because you can clearly see them. I can clearly see an acidic rayon pouch, plus it's bioluminescent.
This colony of worms in a shared membrane has no earthly analog. You have discovered a new clade. Naming rights may be auctioned off or reserved as a gift for that special someone in your future.
Hooray!
Oxygen.
Oxygen. Yeah, we need to get the silver here in a hot second. So I'll show you where that is. So again, I don't recommend scanning everything. I would leave the water slugs unscanned, copper and titanium at the minimum, maybe even quartz. The fish you can scan. I'm going to come over here. This, you've probably already saw it in the first few moments of gameplay that we had. This is the Welcome Center that the pioneers who were here before me, might be myself included, we don't actually know, built.
Colony structure located. There may be clues to the location of the main habitat.
As you can see, it is overrun by the coral dome. Something else about the scanner that you want to pay attention to, it has that little scanning loading bar that kind of tells you basically how much of the thing has been scanned. You may need one, or in this case, 2 copies of the same item in order to be able to access the blueprint for that. Anything over here? Anything over here? Anyways, let's get some story done. Have some fun. No power. But notice we can scan it. This is a biolab. Oop. Small lights. Lots of stuff to scan inside these habitats. Maybe multiples. Zazura, that's where we're headed. Display tank, we'll definitely get one of those later. Notice, I'm going to die. I would be freaking the fuck out. We're okay.
Sabotage is a serious crime.
Underneath this
Samantha
is...
Ayu's bombing of Altera Labs delayed critical Kara research by decades.
Yes, so underneath that metal scrap, more on that in a second, is an oxygen tunic so that you do not immediately die. They have, the designers, they have basically designed this to be as beginner-friendly as possible. It's kind of crazy. But what's nice is also down here, in addition to the oxygen tunic, we got a slug, and more importantly, the second half of the habitat
Building a
builder.
processor and a power supply will unlock new fabricator recipes. But the added mass would sink your life pod. A standalone habitat is the next step on your mission.
Nice. And so you're going to see a bunch of different data bank entries pop up, different blueprints. It's kind of nice. Programmable detonator. That's not good. Anything else down here? More titanium, more acidic rayon pouches. Nothing too crazy. Anyways, why are we here? Why are we in the Welcome Center? Well, good news. There's a NOAA here, but it has no power. Using the tenets of video games, we can trace the wires to this. And this is why we crafted this extra battery earlier.
Systems online. Power connected.
Welcome back, Pioneer. I'm Sophie Boucher, co-voltaï surgeon. By now you know we're not on Zazura. We call this planet Proteus. We don't know when rescue will find us. For the sake of all our sleeping friends, we have to learn how to survive. Nahima?
Hey, fellow dead slave. I'm Nahima Nakota, ecologist. Take a sip of seawater. Notice that sweet blood taste under the salt? That's a toxic dose of heavy metals. Nobody survived past 3 months. It's a beautiful place to die over and over again.
But don't let that beauty seduce you, Pioneer. Exposure to Proteus causes a delusion we call Maysfield syndrome. The call of the sea. People may tell you it's a gift. Ignore them. You remember what Kara did to our homes. You know we can't trust alien biology. We've set up a lab here with a few basic biomods. They're safe. But if you start to hear voices, or if you get the urge to swim to the tree, don't go. Habitat is due north. We'll come pick you up. See you soon, Pioneer.
Sweet. So, we get our first, even before anything crazy, we get our first sort of story beats, right? We know we've got to head north. Mr. Noah will tell us that here in a hot second. We've learned that there, of course, were other people here before us. We learned about this weird thing called the proteovirus. We learn about Maysfield syndrome. It's a whole thing. I'm not going to get too far into the story, unless you really want us to. Ooh, another air pocket. Look at that. They really want you to survive. Nobody dies.